The third and final method for finding the maximum or minimum value of a quadratic function is to use the quadratic formula. We do this when we have an equation in standard form and we can't factor. It follows very much the same progression, however. We use the roots in order to find the axis of symmetry, which then leads us to the vertex. If we can't factor, we have to use our quadratic formula. And our quadratic formula is negative b plus and minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. In this example here, my function, my b value is negative 5, my a value is 2, and my c value is 1. So to start, I'm just going to plug those each into the quadratic formula, and then I'm going to simplify. Again, be careful with your order of operations and ensure you're simplifying as much as you can. We don't want to evaluate our roots. And once we get down to our last step, we are going to have two separate answers, as there's two roots in this example, by having plus the radical and subtracting the radical as well. Once we have our roots, we are going to add them together and divide by 2 in order to find the equation of the axis of symmetry. It's going to start out quite confusing looking, but it will get simpler as we progress, and I'll show you why in a second. So our first root is 5 plus root 17 over 4. Our second is 5 minus root 17 over 4. All of this will be divided by 2. In our next step, again, we have a common denominator, so we're just going to add the numerators of our fractions on top. So we're going to have 5 plus root 17 plus 5 minus root 17 over 4, and then all of this again over 2. You'll notice the radicals end up canceling out, so we just have 5 plus 5 is 10, and then our denominator simplifies to 8, which we can reduce into 5 over 4. Our final step is to sub this back into the original function in order to find the y-coordinate of our vertex. So again, our function was f of x equals 2x squared minus 5x plus 1, so we're going to evaluate this for a value of 5 over 4. Again, be careful with your order of operations as you're working through this. Again, we do want to keep things in fractional form, try not to convert to decimals. The first step is to evaluate the exponents. We have 25 over 16 as our first exponent, and then we can start doing our multiplication, and then into our addition at the end. Okay. The 2 and 16 will cancel to give us 25 over 8, and then we get common denominators to get 50 over 8 plus 8 over 8. And this gives us a final answer of negative 17 over 8. So we now look and decide, is this a maximum or a minimum? Well, again, a is positive, so a minimum, and then our minimum occurs at the point 4 over 5, 5 over 4, negative 17 over 8.